What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. It was a nice long weekend, but it always goes by too quickly. Let's take a look at what we got going on today. Right now, we have the composite trading up about 0.94% at 19,397. We have the Dow Jones Industrial off about 0.16% at 44,839. You get that SPY cooking up about 0.21% at 603. You have the dollar staying somewhat elevated at 106.44. Crude oil not doing a whole bunch of anything, trading at 68.06, trading up easily 0.09%. You have gold coming off a little bit today, the embattled kind of gold futures. We're not going to have Tim Ord on tomorrow. We will have him on Thursday, and we'll see what he has to say, at least regarding the miners. You have copper trading up about 0.04% at $4.14. You have silver off about 0.77% at $30.87. You have the Russell sideways right now at 2,445. Disney doing, this is a weird day. You got some stuff selling off for sure. A lot of the mid-cap meme stocks are getting hit brutally. You have Archer coming off, something insane. That is massive volume too. Off about 23.88%, trading right now at $7.28. There's just, you're seeing this thing where not a lot of huge moves are happening in like the mega caps or anything like that, and you're starting to see it trickle down and getting into these kind of unreal meme runs. You're seeing it too with things like Ionic. You're seeing it with things like Qubit. Ionic's off 11.36% today, with Qubit as well, off 10.91% today. What else can we look at? We can look at RCAT. That hasn't been doing too poorly. It might be different. Well, okay, we're off 11.89%. It was staying pretty solid this morning. I don't think this is like the sell-off. I think this is kind of a shakeout. And even seeing into Friday when you had a half day, and I was nervous. I'm always nervous trade around holidays like that, especially when you go into a half day, and it rallied even more. I think you had a high of 1191 in the thing. The volume was decent for a half day for sure. Just in general trading. This thing has earnings December 20th. We can kind of take a look at that a little bit as well. And speaking of earnings, there's some stuff to look forward to. You have Zscaler today, which is really going to be the big one to kind of look at. And I mean that in the sense of just anything that has earnings today. You're a cybersecurity company. You have Salesforce tomorrow. Let's see if anything else. Citi Trends. Let's see. And then Wednesday we have Royal Bank of Canada. Chewy is huge. Dollar Tree, big. Sentinel 1 on Wednesday, which I'm going to write down so I can look at that a little bit later. I like the cybersecurity market, but it's just, we'll see how it's, really Zscaler I think will be kind of a tastemaker for that. We'll see what happens today with it. Thursday you have Lululemon, massive. You have Kroger coming out, Hewlett Packard. And speaking of Hewlett Packard, right? One of the ones that could have competed with MicroStrategies. Excuse me. MicroStrategies is on my mind, and we will talk about them because I'm trying to understand that right now, right? And I think you're buying Bitcoin essentially at a massive premium with MicroStrategy. Maybe it's, liquidity premium. You can't really put Bitcoin in certain funds, but we'll talk some more about that. You have Supermicro. This is the big news. And congrats to all Supermicro bros getting in there. It's going to close that gap for sure. Trading up 29.32% today at $42.22. Let's take a look right here at the 8K they had. They're going to smoke out the CFO. So, all right, they announced a special committee of the board of directors. The company had completed its investigation and made several recommendations to the board, including that the company recruit a new CFO. They named him here, David Weigand, and a chief accounting officer effective November 27th. The board has adopted all the special committee's recommendations, including that it would commence a search for those aforementioned positions. The company announced that Kenneth Choing, I would say, I'm going to take a guess on that one, has been appointed as the company's senior vice president, chief accounting officer, effective of November 27th. So pretty good. Shame for Weigand. He'll have to find a new job here. All right, so the evidence reviewed by the special committee does not give rise to any substantial concerns about the integrity of the company's senior management or audit committee or their commitment to ensuring the company's financial statements are materially accurate. With respect to the matters investigated by the special committee, the audit committee demonstrated appropriate independence and generally provided proper oversight with respect to rehiring of former employees. The tone at the top of the company is appropriate and fully consistent with the commitment to proper financial reporting and legal compliance. Hey, I mean, right on, right? And anyone who had, the risk tolerance to get in at that, I mean, that is impressive for sure, and it certainly paid off. I mean, if you got in at the bottom here, I mean, what a phenomenal gain. $17 all the way up to $42.10. And, I think, Hewlett-Packard, again, the reason I'm bringing this up, not only is it interesting news, but, Hewlett-Packard was kind of going to be, at least in some capacity, the one that may have taken over along with Dell from Supermicro if they went out of business, because you can have some cooling rack capabilities with it. And the cooling racks are going to be so unbelievably important going forward, especially as, we're hitting a limit with transistors. You're going to need to get software a little bit better in these things. It's going to draw a lot more energy. Yeah, SMCI is doing okay. We'll see what happens. Did they have earnings today? No, that's weird. I don't know why it's saying that. I don't think they released anything today. Give me a second to look that up. No, that's wrong. I think February 3rd is their next earnings. Maybe not. No, we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to take a look at that over the break, and we'll take a look at why I think Thinkorswim is saying that they're reporting earnings after the bell today. In other news of people getting fired from C-suite positions, you have Intel not doing much again. Gelsinger is completely out, which is probably the right move. I think to fumble it this hard, it warrants him getting kicked out, right? And we'll see what happens with that. Let's see. Yeah, stepped down from the company's board of directors. Gelsinger led aggressive efforts to turn around the troubled U.S. company. Yeah, but it didn't work very well. They're going to need to get someone in there really. I mean, the cost reduction is fine, but I mean, Gelsinger oversees the destruction of the equity's value here, screws up Raptor Lake, fires 15,000 people, and then just dips out. Yeah. And then gets fired on some random board meeting. I think this is good for Intel, though, depending on who they get. And hopefully they can get someone good who knows how to retain talent as well. Folks, you stay right there. We're going to be right back with Steve Rhodes of Mastering Probability right after this break.